Resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Attention, citizens! This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, with
Brian Held.
Brian Held, how the hell are you, buckaroo?
I am feeling very accomplished, Dave.
Are you? Are you no longer under the weather? I was worried. I was checking on you constantly.
Well, yes.
My heart was heavy that you were ill.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
I am feeling better, but more importantly is I completed production on my fourth audiobook.
Nice.
And it's
well done.
Thank you. It's the third in the Jezebel Johnston series. It's Jezebel Johnston Sea Witch.
Sea Witch.
Yes.
Like a sea hag?
No, it's the name of a ship, Dave.
One of our listeners wanted to know, does she find her one true love?
I guess you'll have to listen and find out.
Dang it.
Yes.
All right, fine.
And,
all right. What?
We're of course getting ready for the gauntlet of cons that are coming in October. Next week we'll be at Contraflow 7.
Yes, we will. I'm excited, man. That has become a really fun little ditty. I've always enjoyed every Contraflow I've gone to.
And I know a bunch of guys are getting ready for. There's going to be some parties Saturday night. So.
I know, man. That's one thing that they brought back from the old cons that I really love. They do the room parties and they do the theme, and then they have the judges and then the secret judges. And then, you go to all the room and they got food, they got free booze. It's just a good time is had by all of age 21 and up.
Yes.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
All right, Dave, you ready to lay out the show?
Yeah, all right. Well, open it up. Of course, we got our top nerd news, and then we have our boy Skungy with his pick of the week, Agents of Mayhem.
Yes, I know nothing about it.
Well, you'll find out. It's in the Saints Row kind of Red Faction like universe deal.
Okay, all right.
And then we have our guest.
Yes, that's Mr. David Lagercrantz.
Lagercrantz.
He has written The Girl Who Takes an Eye for an Eye. It's a continuation of the Stieg Larsson's Millennium Series. So
I like his name, though, Lagercrantz.
Yeah, it's a good name.
I know,
yes.
but we butcher it in the interview.
We did.
But then we'll wrap up like we always do with This Week in Geek History. All right, Brian, you ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
And now your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by QuestCon. QuestCon, October 20th to the 22nd in Mobile, Alabama. For more information, go to quest-con.com. And now your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, what's topping us off today?
Well,
I think it's something DC related.
It is. Apparently, DC Entertainment is rethinking their whole, DCEU strategy.
Yeah, Jeff Johns, they Vulture, I think, .com or something they did an interview with. And they have decided that they want to put the creative world building or whatever the hell you want to call it back in the director's hands. And that it'll all be in the same universe, but it will not be the entire, the Marvel universe where each movie is literally interconnected and it's all on the same timeline. DC has been failing miserably at trying to imitate Marvel. And I think it's in their best interest to just say, all right, you know what? We can't do what they do, so let's go ahead and step back and try to do what we do, tell good stories like we do in the cartoons, and maybe that'll transfer over to the silver screen.
My thoughts is that they would have had to have a strategy to begin with in order to rethink it. All right.
Are you saying they didn't have a strategy?
I'm clearly saying that they didn't have a strategy at all, right? And it was a complete train wreck from the beginning, and the only bright star in that whole thing is Wonder Woman, right?
So far.
But here's the thing is, yeah, they don't have to copy the Marvel formula. Every movie doesn't have to be interconnected. That's fine.
Right.
Put out some good movies, and people will pay to see them. I mean, it's really that simple. It's not.
Here's the thing, though. You remember back in 2008 when Iron Man first came out, they didn't even have a damn script for the movie. I mean, these guys were the epitome of flying by their pants. And the whole Marvel end credits series. Look, I pulled this up just for you and our listeners. This is the end credits from Iron Man 1, where, here you go.
I am Iron Man. You think you're the only superhero in the world? Mr. Stark, you become part of a bigger universe.
That word.
You just don't know it yet. Who the hell are you? Nick Fury. director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
There was an orgasmic sigh when he said that, but also the biggest takeaway from that, and it set the tone for every Marvel movie out there, was you've become a part of a bigger universe. And that's literally where the phrase was practically coined, was from that.
And that's fine, Dave, but the thing is that Marvel quickly, came together and established a clear plan to move forward, and we can see clearly that it's been successful, all right? All I'm saying is that DC, right, just needs to get their house in order and put out good stuff that people want to see and people will pay for it, right? Like, the whole deal with this Joker standalone movie where it's going to be like cutting back and some sort of flashback type deal. Like, who cares, right?
Well,
you know what? I mean, really, that's kind of
I didn't like your boy's Joker.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, I was not impressed by
well,
that. And the whole Joker Harley Quinn movie, I can take it or leave it. And the whole thing with the, Aquaman, Justice League, and all that stuff is still going to be in the same universe, but they're saying already that the Aquaman stuff is not going to be as connected. It will be in the same universe, but it will not be, so interconnected where, like, when Thor leaves off with Loki on the throne of Odin, and then, it literally just picks up from there in the entire Marvel continuity.
Look, if they just want to give us an adult version of The Little Mermaid that's, well written, all right?
Oh, my God.
That'll be fine.
There's a dude in California who will come over here and kick your ass for dogging Aquaman. And I will help him.
Okay.
All right. So, well, look. I think it's a better idea of them moving forward. So, hopefully things will start getting better. Let's talk about something happy, you big wet towel.
What?
God, Cards Against Muggles. So if you ever have any weird things that are arousing about Harry Potter, it's in these cards. It's in there. Harry's wand is, and every phallic joke goes from there.
Well, of course, yeah. This is a take on Cards Against Humanity. And what's nice about Cards Against Humanity is it's an open source game.
Yes.
Right? So you can take and make whatever cards. You can make your own deck. And this is just
like our friend made cards for us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, just another version of Cards Against Humanity, Cards Against Muggles. Is that?
Yes, Cards Against Muggles. Well, I say that to say this, is that Cards Against Humanity is a really great company.
It is.
And they are doing some more full-ride scholarships.
Right, yeah, they put out, what was the set? It was the science pack that they put out, and they're going to put in $1 million to a permanent trust, and it's going to pay for annual full-ride scholarships for women in science, technology, engineering, or math who are high school seniors or current undergrads. And, they do a lot of weird, wacky stuff.
Yes.
Like people paying for them to watch them dig a
hole. Right. Here we're going to sell a box of crap, and it's literally bull crap.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But they do, really put out some good social
when they're making
initiatives.
Obscene amounts of money, they're like, screw it, we'll give some back to the people that pay for our lavish lifestyles.
Yeah.
Now, moving on.
Moving on.
Reboots?
Oh, jeez.
Don't talk to me about reboots.
So, Brian, your favorite topic always crops up in the top nerd news. Tim Miller's Terminator Reboot now has a release date, and I know you're excited. 2 years from now, July 26, 2019.
But is this actually a reboot?
Technically, yes, because it's... all right.
So
let's follow that, though, because this is technically going to pick up where Terminator 2 left off.
Right.
1 and 2 were great. The rest were just a series of train wrecks that got progressively worse.
So what they're saying in this article here is that it's going to basically be all a dream. Everything.
Yes, a bad dream. They even said that.
They did. So, I mean,
at least they admit their folly.
It's not a reboot. It's a sequel to 1 and 2.
Right, and this is so silly, though. They're like, we're bringing back Linda Hamilton, we're bringing back Arnold, and basically they're going to hand the baton off, so it'll have the mystique of the first movies and the mythology, the people you know and love.
Okay.
And then we're going to kill them, or they're going to go off somewhere in the sunset, and then here's our new people.
Yeah, I mean, look, if they kill him off and hand it off, which is what Star Wars 7 should have did, right?
They killed Han.
Well,
spoiler
wasn't enough. All right,
Damn, Brian,
look,
you
man,
were cold-blooded today. Is this role reversal today? Did we touch the same handle somewhere and get shocked? What's going on here?
Look,
crazy talk.
I'm kind of beyond Terminator. Let's get some. Who cares? That's great.
Wow. Okay, well let's move on to something that I know you really like and is very close to my heart: Batman and Elmer Fudd.
Okay.
Here, give it a listen.
I grew up in the dirt of the country. You ate what you hunted. In duck season, you ate duck. In rabbit season, you ate rabbit. If you didn't find your prey, you starved. So you learned to find your prey. My name is Elmer Fudd, and I'm hunting playboys. Shh. Bruce Wayne.
Excuse me?
This is for my little crowd.
He killed Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Elmer Fudd killed Bruce Wayne.
So yeah, that was a little special series that came out. What was it, in June, I believe?
Yeah, and oh God, what's his name? Who did it? Damn it.
I'm trying to look it up now.
Alan something.
Characters written by Tom King, artwork by Byron Vaughns.
Well, the guy who read it. Well, basically, it's a Batman Looney Tunes crossover with Elmer Fudd, who's in love with this St. Cloud woman. His little Cloud. His little Cloud. I can't even do it. And so the entire recording of it and the comic book is basically every Looney Tunes thing's mashed up in there. Batman starts beating up Marvin the Martian, going, "You'll have a cell in Arkham that you can see Venus." Mm-hmm. And then, little Tweety Bird gets his butt kicked. It's good stuff. So, if you have any resentment against the Looney Tunes, it's very therapeutic and cathartic.
Well, and I did think it was interesting, the comic book itself that came out, how the characters like Bugs Bunny and all those other characters, they're actually human, but
yes,
they have their sort of characteristics.
Right, yeah, there was no anthropomorphic things.
Correct.
Whoa!
Oh, look at you.
Oh, so smart. And but of course, my brother's name is Elmer, so of course I've grown up with a litany of Fudd jokes in my life.
Right.
So, all right, moving on.
Let's skipped one.
Did I?
Yes. Do you want to talk about the STD?
What?
It's number 6 on the list.
Oh, Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
I told you that in private. But Star Trek Discovery. So I have yet to see it. The whole thing is that I don't want to pay for it, honestly, and I'm going to wait till the season's over and then pay for it and binge it and be done.
Well, you don't have to pay for it at the end of the season because you can get a 5-day free trial of CBS All Access.
Oh, right, yeah, because I don't want to use my freebie.
Right,
that's right.
Exactly. So my wife and I did use up the freebie.
Okay.
And because they only aired that first episode, and then you have to, get the access to get that second episode, even though they released kind of simultaneously.
Right.
And I can tell you that as soon as I finished watching that second episode, I canceled my subscription.
Holy cow.
And the thing is
was it that bad? To me, and after some kind of discussion and thinking about it, I think that I didn't like it because it seems like a serialization of the current movies that we're getting for Star Trek, which honestly are okay action flicks. Yeah.
But they're not Star Trek.
Well, no.
Right?
Because they got the Beastie Boys and Rage Against the Machine playing in the background.
And the thing is that the Orville is more Star Trek than Star Trek is.
Damn!
All
boy,
right?
you were laying the lumber today.
Dude, look, it's true, all right? And I stand behind it. And look, the writing was subpar on this too, because there was a whole lot of Mary Sue type stuff, and just really that's how you're gonna get out of this situation, or you're gonna do
really
it was an insult to my intelligence, and I'm not gonna stand for it, Dave.
Wow. Well, you know what? At Contraflow this weekend, we're gonna probably have some heated debates about that with one Randolph.
Okay, yeah,
I'm sure.
He's gonna be on my side.
Is he really? You don't know that. You're just making crap up now.
Well.
All right, finally, let's talk about Alan Turing, who actually kind of rolls into our other guest, Mr. Lagercrantz, because he wrote a book on Alan Turing.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
I didn't realize that.
We didn't bring it up during the interview, but this is some computer-generated music, the first computer-generated music back in 1947, 48. This is horrible.
Yeah.
It's the limey national anthem.
God Save the Queen?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry to all our across the pond listeners. Please forgive me. But apparently, we Americans stole it because I always think, from every mountainside that freedom ring. Oh, okay. This is horrible. Can we go to break?
And of course, Alan Turing said, "Good show."
Good show. He was a man of many words.
Right.
All right. So what do we got coming up? We got Skungy?
Yes, we got Skungy. We need to go to break.
All right, guys. When we come back, we'll talk to our boy Skungy with his pick of the week. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. Are you ready for some football? Starting September 10th at the 14 Parishes Restaurant, the Independent Gaming League will be running their online Madden League. There will be discounted food and beverages for all players throughout the day, and all your favorite Sunday games will be airing, so you won't miss a down. Players competing from the venue can also take part in free mini-games for prizes provided by our sponsors. For more information about the Independent Gaming League and to register, visit igltournaments.com. That's igltournaments.com.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Join the adventure at QuestCon October 20th through the 22nd at the Mobile, Alabama Convention Center. We're taking over downtown with great events like our Apocalypse Zombie Experience, Post-Apocalyptic Wrecking Yard, and our Halo Drop Pods. We have fantastic guests like Jodelle Ferlin from Cabin in the Woods and Twilight, as well as Aaron Zetch from Ruby. There will be vendors, artists, and even a kids' con for the little ones. QuestCon October 20th through the 22nd. Check out quest-con.com for more info.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Join us October 6th through the 8th for Contraflow, a science fiction convention featuring writers, artists, and entertainers from all over the country. Contraflow will have gaming, music, an art gallery, vendors, and so much more. This year's author guest of honor is writer Yun Ha Lee, winner of the Locus Award and Hugo Award nominee. Contraflow, October 6th through the 8th at the Airport Hilton in Kenner. For more information, find them on Facebook or check out their website at contraflowsci-fi.org. That's contraflowsci-fi.org.
Hello, this is Chris Walken. If you've got a hankering for more cowbell, you can get it on The Week in Geek. Come on.
Welcome back, New Orleans. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. This is Brian Held with
D Squared.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. All right, so we got our boy Skungy on the line. Do we want to talk to him or no?
Yes.
Man.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Skungy, what's shaking bacon?
What is going on, gentlemen?
We're waiting with bated breath to hear about Agents of Mayhem.
But before that, how was the opening of House of Shock last night?
Dude, last night we had probably one of our record-breaking opening nights ever. We had so many people there. It was over 1,000 people. It was a great night. It's going to be a good year. It's a 25th anniversary. It's going to be a lot of fun this year. A lot of cool stuff going on.
Couldn't be that good if you still have a voice left.
It's one night. I was
right.
relatively sober, so you got to.
Oh well, that explains everything. All right. All right. So, Agents of Mayhem, lay it on me.
Agents of Mayhem is a third-person action game that's made by Deep Silver, the same people who made the Saints Row game and one of your favorites, Red Faction.
Yeah, and Red Faction is free always on Games with Gold on Xbox.
Cool.
So I played both of them, and you get a unicorn that shoots out rainbows and farts. It's awesome. Highly recommend it.
Well, they the one thing about this company is that they don't take themselves seriously. So if anybody's ever played the Saints Row games, they're always very tongue-in-cheek. Well, this one is you're playing a faction of agents that are they're called Mayhem. But it reminds me of G.I. Joe, believe it or not, because you get so many different agents that you play, and each one has their own unique personality and abilities and whatnot. Like one of them's like his name's Hollywood. He's like a Hollywood star. Another one
Johnny
is
Cage.
What?
Like Johnny Cage.
Like Johnny Cage, and then there's like a big, sailor, and then there's like, a
sailor.
And everything. and the bad guys are so over the top, and they even have like this witty banter, and it just feels like you're playing a modernized adult. I got to emphasize that adult G.I. Joe.
No, that's cool.
Wow, I think I'm kind of into that.
Yeah, you're going around, you get to level up your characters, new abilities, so it does have a bit of RPG to it because you do have experience points that you get for doing missions, and they've got so many vehicles you can unlock and new abilities and skill trees, and there's so many collectibles and different missions to go on. There's a lot to this game. It's set in Seoul, in like kind of futuristic. Once again, suspend disbelief in this game.
All right. So it says Mayhem Multinational Agency Hunting Evil Masterminds is what Mayhem stands for, and they're fighting Legion, the League of Evil Gentlemen intent on obliterating nations.
Exactly.
That's very wordy.
Yes,
it is very wordy.
I guess that's why they
man, it's so over the top. I love it. I was laughing the entire time I'm playing this game.
So I mean, what's the gameplay like though? You said it's third-person shooter. You ride around in vehicles and all that stuff. Is it kind of like Mercenaries and Red Faction?
Kind of like that. Yeah, it's got along the lines of that. You could play. You can drive around if you want to, or you could just traverse and like climb up the buildings. There's a game called Crackdown that came out a couple of years ago.
I remember that one.
It's very similar to that kind of gameplay where you do triple jumps and climbing up buildings and just shooting lots of enemies in the street. It's really easy, run and gun, very easy gameplay.
All right, so is it out now?
Yes, it is. It's out now. It's available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
What about the Dirty PC? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's available on the
how
Dirty
much is it?
PC.
How much?
It's $60.
Are there microtransactions?
There are microtransactions, but as of right now, the only thing that I've seen are cosmetic.
Okay.
There are not any new agents yet that you can buy through microtransactions. They haven't gotten that far yet. I don't know if they will or not. I'll have to stay tuned for that. But as of right now, it's got plenty of meat on its bones for the price point.
All right. That's cool.
All right. Now, is there something else you wanted to talk about before we fire you?
Before I get fired, yes. There is one other thing that came out this Friday. It's the Super Nintendo Classic Edition.
All right. How many people actually got it?
Well,
like 12,
13? Okay. Nintendo's official statement this time
was we suck.
Opposed to with the regular NES Classic we are going to make considerable more product for this one than we did for the last one.
And everybody's been
they have emphasis saying it's going to be only manufactured through 2017. After this year, they're not making them anymore.
The Super NES Classic.
The Super NES. Now,
okay.
They're going to remake the NES Classic middle of next year sometime, they said. But as for the Super Nintendo, at the end of the year, they're not going to make any more. But this one, I mean, it's pretty cool. It comes with 2 controllers. It's got 21 Super Nintendo games, including Star Fox 2, which has never been released.
Wow.
Damn.
So they're going to fly off of shelves.
They're already flying off the shelves.
They're probably already gone.
Yeah.
By the time we hang up with Skungy,
well,
they're
and
gone.
Dave, look, you can't blame them. You don't want them to have like 1 billion units just sitting in a warehouse.
Like the Wii U?
Right.
It's Nintendo's business model. It's been their business model. They create demand by lack of supply.
Yeah,
is that a viable business model, though?
Absolutely.
It's worked for Nintendo for the last 30 or 40 years. That they've been doing video games. I mean, Nintendo's been around for over 100 years. But, yeah, since they've done video games, it's how they've done it. And they, people buy it. All you have to do is say, look, it's Nintendo.
Well, that is true. And just slap a Nintendo logo on it and it'll fly off the shelves. All right, Butt Monkey, are you coming to Contraflow with us? Are you going to be there?
I am going to be at Contraflow. I'm actually going to be in the electronic gaming room all weekend long with GameStop. I'm going to be doing VR demos all weekend long again. So if anybody wants to try out the VR, the PlayStation VR, come and check it out, and I'll have demos running.
Awesome
Fantastic.
sauce. All right, man. Well, you know what? I'm not going to fire you today.
Yay!
Yay! All right, but just get off the show.
All right.
Thank you, Skungy.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Brian, we got Mr. Lagercrantz next.
Yes, he's our guest next. So, guys, stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Join us October 6th through the 8th for Contraflow, a science fiction convention featuring writers, artists, and entertainers from all over the country. Contraflow will have gaming, music, an art gallery, vendors, and so much more. This year's author guest of honor is writer Yun Ha Lee, winner of the Locus Award and Hugo Award nominee. Contraflow, October 6th through the 8th at the Airport Hilton in Kenner. For more information, find them on Facebook or check out their website at contraflowsci-fi.org. That's contraflowsci-fi.org.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktitans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Join the adventure at QuestCon, October 20th through the 22nd at the Mobile, Alabama Convention Center. We're taking over downtown with great events like our Apocalypse Zombie Experience, Post-Apocalyptic Wrecking Yard, and our Halo Drop Pods. We'll have fantastic guests like Gigi Edgley from Farscape and Paul Amos from Assassin's Creed Syndicate. There will be vendors, artists, and even a kids con for the little ones. QuestCon, October 20th through the 22nd. Check out quest-con.com for more info.
This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Follow them on Twitter at TWIG Radio. Do it now!
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. I'm your host, D Squared, with
Brian Held.
Now, Brian, we have a very special guest on the line.
Yes, we do. We have acclaimed author and journalist, Mr. David Lagercrantz, with us, and he's here to tell us about his latest book that he's been working on, The Girl Who Takes an Eye for an Eye. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm fine, I think. I'm a bit confused. I'm doing my tour. I'm in Phoenix for the minute. I've been traveling all around, and I'm jet-lagged, but otherwise, I'm great.
Well, that's fantastic. So this is the third book of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. Is that right?
The fifth, you can say.
Oh, I'm
Stieg
sorry.
Larsson wrote 3, and this is my second, and then I will write another one.
Okay. Well, tell us about it. Tell us what we got going on here.
Well, we can start with, when I got his mission to write the Stieg Larsson book, the Millennium books, I wanted to deepen the mythology. I mean, I think one of my inspiration was Christopher Nolan, what he did with Batman's. So I thought to myself, really. So I thought to myself, I had to answer a question that he didn't have time to answer. And in this book, there was, what is Lisbeth Salander most famous for? Her dragon tattoo, of course.
Right, of course.
Yes. So I think it started with that. I really wanted to have, because I understood that a girl like her wouldn't put a dragon tattoo on her back without a very good reason. So it started with that. And then, of course, a girl like Lisbeth Salander needs problems. All action hero needs a lot of troubles and problems. So it
wouldn't be a good story if it was just easy, right?
Yeah, so I put her in jail. But, I was thinking about the dragon. What is it really? Why did she put a dragon? And we have this big cathedral in Stockholm, in Old Town. You must visit it if you're ever in Stockholm. It's called Storkyrkan. And there has the statue that all, kids has been to. And we all seen it in the same way. It's the St. George who is the hero, and the dragon is the beast.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Yes. And one day when I walked in there, and I thought to look at this the dragon with Lisbeth Salander's eyes, I sort of felt a thrill in my body and understood that you can reverse the old mythology. I can see the blank face of St. George, and the fear and despair and the dragon. And if you are familiar to Lisbeth Salander's story, you know that her evil father raped and abused and eventually killed her mother.
Right.
So that was the start of the book. So in many ways, it's the story about Lisbeth and the dragon. And of course, she saw her mother in the dragon. And then you also know what happened to Lisbeth Salander. When she tried to kill her father, they actually put her in mental hospital, and this sadistic psychiatrist tied her up in a bed. And I thought to myself, how did she survive? She survived by thinking about the dragon, that one day the dragon will rise and take revenge on St. George. So that was sort of the start, and then I dwelled, a crime fiction story around it. So it's a book about Lisbeth Salander and her dragon, you can say.
Wow.
Oh, that's fantastic. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh no, I just like that. I like when people can go to cathedrals and historical places and be struck by an idea and then take that idea and put pen to paper.
Like you said before, this was your second time out with this character. And how is it working with someone else's character to build on that story? I mean, is it difficult? Do you work with them a whole lot?
I mean, what would you think? I was absolutely. First, when they asked me, I was so thrilled because I loved the characters and I saw the challenge, so I just screamed, yes, I want to do it. But after a while, of course, I got scared to death because in Sweden, the Millennium Series and Stieg Larsson, they're really icons.
Right.
So, if I would fail, it would sort of destroy my authorship. So I was scared to death, really, writing the first book. But being scared, mountain climbers know that could be a good thing because it makes you work harder and try harder.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, was it any easier this go around?
Yeah, no, but the second book was much easier, of course, because then I worked so hard to got this character in my DNA and my blood system, but now I know them, and because of the first book was such a success, I was braver to let them go even more wild and crazy, because you have to be brave if you want to. You can't be too afraid when you should write good crime fiction.
Absolutely. Nothing's worth it unless you take a little risk, right?
Yeah, it was a huge risk, actually. And it was such a controversy when it was out in Sweden. I mean, you couldn't even imagine it. And it's war in Syria, and there were the refugee crisis. But I was all over on top of the news. So they were really crazy. And I could felt, the critics sharpen their knife.
Right.
So that was tough. But I survived.
Now, we're visiting with David Lagercrantz, author of The Girl Who Takes an Eye for an Eye.
You're in Phoenix right now. You're headed out to L.A. What are some of your other tour stops?
Well, I've been all around in Europe, but it's quite exciting because I'm going to meet a Hollywood people. They will make a Hollywood movie of my first book, The Girl in the Spider's Web. Maybe you've heard of that.
Yes.
Claire Foy, who played the Crown in the Netflix series, will do Lisbeth Salander.
Wow,
it's quite a big step, isn't it, from Queen Elizabeth to Lisbeth Salander?
Right. Well, any kind of dates on that, or is this all pre-production?
Yeah, they will start shooting in. I mean, they have it all, and they will start shooting in the first or second week in January.
Wow!
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah, and I think it will be a good movie because they have been so thorough. Working with a script for 2 years now, and.
Now, sir, where can we find you on the internet and social media and everything like that?
Where we can find me?
Yes, we want to stalk you.
Yeah, I have a Facebook site. I'm bad at social media. I pretend to be this brilliant hacker, Lisbeth Salander. So I have to call my hacker friends when she has to do something crazy on the net. But I'm not that good on net myself. But I have a Facebook site, and then you could go to Knopf, my American publisher. They have a Millennium Facebook site, and you will find me. If you want to find out more, you can Google me. I do that sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm nervous what they write.
Well, that's great. Well, we've been visiting with Mr. David Lagercrantz, the author of The Girl Who Takes an Eye for an Eye. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope we didn't keep you uncomfortable during this interview. I know you took one for the team and put yourself out having a kneel for the whole interview. So thank you.
No, that was crazy because it was the hotel. Who uses hotel phones nowadays?
Nobody.
Right?
Nobody, and I couldn't work it out. So forgive me if I was absolutely confused and talked too much. That was the bloody hotel phone.
Guys, that book is out and available on newsstands now. You can go ahead and pick it up or from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever your favorite bookseller is.
Oh, it was nice talking to you guys, and good luck now.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all your time.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, when we come back, we'll do This Week in Geek History. Maybe? I don't know. Brian?
Yep, maybe so.
Sure, we'll do that. Join us October 6th through the 8th for Contraflow, a science fiction convention featuring writers, artists, and entertainers from all over the country. Contraflow will have gaming, music, an art gallery, vendors, and so much more. This year's author guest of honor is writer Yun Ha Lee, winner of the Locus Award and Hugo Award nominee. Contraflow, October 6th through the 8th at the Airport Hilton in Kenner. For more information, find them on Facebook or check out their website at contraflowsci-fi.org. That's contraflowsci-fi.org.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktitans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Join the adventure at QuestCon October 20th through the 22nd at the Mobile, Alabama Convention Center. We're taking over downtown with great events like our Apocalypse Zombie Experience, Post-Apocalyptic Wrecking Yard, and our Halo Drop Pods. We have fantastic guests like Jodelle Ferlin from Cabin in the Woods and Twilight, as well as Aaron Zetch from Ruby. There will be vendors, artists, and even a kids con for the little ones. QuestCon October 20th through the 22nd. Check out quest-con.com for more info.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
You're listening to the Weekend Geek.
It rubs the lotion on its skin. It does this whenever it's told.
Make it a habit, will ya?
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Here's David and Brian.
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5. This is your host, D Squared with
Brian Held.
That's your favorite rejoin, isn't it?
It is not.
Buffalo Bob.
Oh, God.
Buffalo Bill, whatever that.
Where's the rejoin from Casper Van Dien? When are you going to cut that?
So, when we wrap up the show, we're going to be talking about This Week in Geek History.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay. This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future!
Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Contraflow. Contraflow, October 6th through the 8th at the Airport Hilton in Kenner. For more information, go to contraflowsci-fi.org. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Da-na-na, da-na-na. Wow. Yeah, I said Kenner.
Yes.
It's in the Hilton in Kenner.
Yes, Kenner.
Kenner.
Yes.
E-R, not A. All right, what's leading us off?
First item on my list, September 25th, 2010. That is the last murder is committed in the city of Los Angeles, as chronicled by Demolition Man.
Okay. I want to see a movie with Demolition Man. I want them to take on, like, go give me the origin story for the franchise wars. Where Taco Bell is the last one standing. Yes. I need to know. How does it happen? I mean, is McDonald's on the front line? I mean, what's going on? Is like the Hamburglar out there? I need to know. The Burger King? I mean, come on.
I'm sad. You just announced that to the whole world, Dave. I mean, that sounds like gold.
TM trademark? Demolition Man, the franchise wars.
Let's see if we can make that happen.
All right. Short film guys.
Nice. All right. Next on my list, September 26th, 1982. Sees the premiere of Knight Rider, starring David Hasselhoff.
Oh, man, I wish I had that song. I don't have it.
Yeah,
Dang
sorry.
it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Knight Rider.
I love that series, man.
It was great, the Hoff, man. I mean, it's David Hasselhoff.
I know.
I mean, they've tried to reboot it, but there's no cars as iconic as, like, KITT.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I guess, Bumblebee, the Camaro. But,
well, I mean, there's plenty of iconic geek cars, but...
Speaking of geek cars, in Supernatural, which starts up in a couple of weeks on the CW,
right.
season 13, they drive around in a Chevy Impala.
Ryan?
Well, in Black Lightning, the new superhero show that's coming on the CW,
yeah.
You know what the gang members are driving around in? A Chevy Impala.
Really?
And then they destroy it.
Oh, that's sad.
It was. My heart broke into 1,000 little Impala-sized pieces. All right, what's next?
Let's see. September 27th, 1905. Albert Einstein's paper, "Does the inertia of a body depend on its energy content?" is published, which gives us E = MC squared.
And it exploded.
That too.
From that patent clerk.
Yeah.
Who cares what that patent clerk thinks?
Right.
Get back to making patents.
All right. Next on my list, September 28th, 1987. Let's see. Sees the premiere of Star Trek The Next Generation with Encounter at Farpoint.
Whoa, when was that?
September 28th, 1987. And
87.
It ended 18 years without a Star Trek. That was the...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We were in a Star Trek desert.
We were?
And now we can't get rid of the crap.
Right.
Now we got to pay to play for those privileges.
Now we have an STD.
Brian!
This is true. That's the initials.
I have had a deleterious effect on you, sir.
You apparently have.
Good Lord have mercy. So, all right, well.
I got another premiere. You ready?
Okay.
It's September 29th, 1985. Sees the premiere of MacGyver.
Ooh,
Richard Dean Anderson.
Potatoes and paper clips and tinfoil were never the same.
Yep. Ran 7 seasons.
Jesus, really?
Yes. And
Lord. Well, they've remade that one too.
Unfortunately.
Speaking of remakes,
oh God!
Actually, it's not really
reboots. Reboots? Don't
What?
talk to me about reboots.
Coming to America is getting a sequel. They're getting a sequel. It's coming back to theaters. What is it going to be? Coming Back to America?
I don't know.
I mean, look, Eddie Murphy, that was the greatest movie. It was the seminal piece of the 80s.
It was. Look, I love that movie.
I said, waiter, try the soup. What's the matter? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? I said, waiter, try the soup. Is it too spicy? Just try the soup. Okay, where's the spoon? What do you know from Funny?
What is that, Velvet? Right? No, it's a great movie. I love it. Let's do something new. We don't need whatever.
What do you mean? It is new. It's a sequel. It's
All
new.
right.
It's not a reboot. It's a sequel.
All right. Maybe we'll see. Was it Prince Akeem? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prince Akeem.
Maybe we'll see his kids coming to America.
Maybe so. The Kingdom of Zamunda.
Right.
And Darth Vader was in it. You should be happy.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll make a comeback too.
Maybe so. You ready for the next?
It'd be filled with Star Wars jokes. It'd be awesome. All right, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Squirrel!
Right. September 30th, 1997. Developed by Interplay and its division Dragonplay, sees the release of Fallout, a post-nuclear role-playing game. That was the original one.
Wow.
And
I never played the original.
Dude, and what's interesting, you would have liked it. It was initially intended to be based off of Steve Jackson's GURPS system.
Yeah, okay.
Which turned into the Special system, and it, let's see, it's seen as the spiritual successor, of course, to Interplay's Wasteland.
Right.
But not a lot of people played the original one, and it's that top-down isometric view, third person.
Right.
It's such a great game. There's a lot of good jokes, and then Fallout 2, which is the same kind of build and engine or whatever, it's even better. There's so much good stuff. The story was really well done, and part of playing those two games made me a little bit disappointed in the original release of Fallout 3.
Really?
Right, because one of the things that this game did is after you went through the whole game, there were cutscenes that showed you what your actions did to affect the communities throughout the wasteland.
Right.
And I thought it was absolutely fantastic, well done. And Fallout 3 really didn't do that on its initial release. They came and patched it later.
Yeah, there's even a post on our Facebook page. Speaking of which, we strongly urge people to check out the Facebook page. It's facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Also, check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twigradio, and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always catch us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, the iHeartRadio app, and at WRNO.com.
Yes. But also, all right, so on our Facebook page, there was an article that we posted, Cyber Ernie posted, I should preface that.
Right.
Is that Fallout really kind of, set the table for role-playing games that, or computer role-playing games, the computer RPGs. And, there's some good, evidence to back that up.
No, they did a really excellent job of telling good stories, and you've got Fallout 1, Fallout 2, 3, New Vegas, and 4, and then there's some other stuff in there. There's Tactics, and there's Brotherhood of Steel, which were actually console games. Yeah.
And we still don't know where the new one's going to be set. And New Orleans was in the running.
Well,
New Orleans was in the running.
We did see one. That would be cool.
That would be super cool.
The
super green.
The swamp apocalypse.
Swamp Thing. That might be a reboot coming up soon, too.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not messing with you.
Well, but you know what?
Adrienne Barbeau and her gigantic things. That was the entire movie. Adrienne Barbeau's boobs and Swamp Thing.
Right, but those movies were terrible.
They were terrible. I did like Swamp Thing, though.
Yeah, well.
It was kind of cool. All right. Do we have anything else for this week in Geek History?
Tangent. Celebrity birthdays. You ready? On the 25th, Mark Hamill.
Oh, really?
On the 26th, Linda Hamilton.
Ooh, she's going to be in the new Terminator.
Whatever.
Terminator 3.
The 27th.
Brian's waiting for that movie to come out. You're going to camp out for it?
No. 27th, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, yeah. Pepper Potts.
Yes.
She did some other stuff. I'm not sure what.
29th, Zachary Levi. He was Chuck from the series Chuck. And he's from Lake Charles.
Chuck from Lake Charles.
Yes. There you go.
I see what you did there.
On the 30th, T-Pain, which I remember him fondly for being on a boat.
What?
I'm on a boat with Lonely Island song.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm
you
thinking
need to
like
get out more.
Sticky Fingers. Remember Sticky Fingers? It was in the Blade TV series. It was really bad.
Yeah, well.
He was really short. He was like pint-sized Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, but T-Pain does all the auto-tune type stuff. That's his big deal.
Oh, okay.
And on the 1st, Zach Galifianakis.
That dude is nuts.
He is.
I like him.
But he does interviews with two ferns.
He does. He does. All right, Brian, so let's lay out where the hell we're going to be this weekend. Contraflow!
Yes.
I'm excited. You excited?
I am very excited.
Apparently, we're doing some sort of auction thingy. We're probably going to do some karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Clothes will be removed, but not from me.
Right.
Just put that out there.
Yes.
I will be wearing clothes constantly.
We got some panels that we're doing throughout the weekend. If you want to see the entire staff of the Week in Geek radio show, we're going to all be together on Friday night.
We are? Nobody told me.
Yeah, I did tell you. You have an invite.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I just assumed that nobody tells me anything.
But we'll be in the bar at the hotel hanging out, so come stop by, say hi.
So there's no way this will end badly. All of us in a bar room?
Well, no, it'll be fine.
Brian walks in a bar. Ouch, that hurt. All right,
Terrible.
guys. So, yeah, Contraflows this weekend, Airport Hilton in Kennebra.
Yes, sir.
And then 2 weeks from that, we're going to be at QuestCon in Mobile, Alabama.
Yes, sir, we will. I'm
All
looking
right,
forward
guys.
to it.
Well, till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
There's something weird, and it don't look good. Who you gonna call?
Your new home for Walton and Johnson. News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans, an iHeart radio station.